AITA for kicking my freeloading brother out after he refused to get a job? He said, family helps family, but only when it benefits him. I, 32M, live in a modest 2-bedroom apartment with my wife, 31F, and we're expecting our first child in 3 months. I've always tried to be the responsible older brother, especially since our parents passed away years ago. My younger brother, Kyle, 26M, has always struggled with structure and responsibility. He bounced around jobs, dropped out of college twice, and burned bridges with most of our extended family. Last year, he lost his job and broke up with his girlfriend. He called me, crying, saying he had nowhere else to go. My wife and I agreed to let him move in temporarily. At first, I genuinely wanted to help him get back on his feet. We didn't charge him rent or bills, just asked him to contribute in small ways. Cleaning, helping with errands, applying for jobs. For the first couple of weeks, he made an effort. But after that, it was like a switch flipped. He stopped applying for jobs, slept until noon, gamed all night, and left dishes everywhere. My wife, who is now in her 3rd trimester, started picking up after him when I wasn't home. That didn't sit right with me. We had multiple talks. Each time, he'd promised to get serious and do better. Nothing changed. I even offered to help with his resume and drive him to interviews. He just shrugged it off, saying the job market was too competitive and depressing. 2 weeks ago, I gave him a final warning: get a job within the next month or move out. I even showed him several entry-level jobs that were hiring locally. He laughed and said, "You're acting like a landlord, not a brother. Family helps family. Remember?" That phrase pushed me over the edge. Kyle always uses "family helps family" to justify taking and never giving. He doesn't help when I'm sick, doesn't contribute to groceries, and spends what little money he has on weed and game subscriptions. This weekend, I gave him a 48-hour deadline to move out. My wife backed me up. Kyle flipped out. He called me selfish, accused me of abandoning him like everyone else, and even brought up our parents, saying they'd be ashamed of me. He finally left yesterday, staying with a friend for now. Since then, I've been getting texts from our cousins saying I should have been more patient and that family means forgiveness. I don't know anymore. Was I too harsh? AITA? Update. Hi everyone, I didn't expect this post to blow up the way it did. Thank you to everyone who responded, especially those who shared their own stories with similar family dynamics. It's been overwhelming but also strangely comforting to know I'm not alone. A few things have happened since I posted. First, I had a long conversation with my wife. She confessed she was starting to feel really stressed having Kyle in the house, especially with the baby on the way. She didn't want to pressure me before, but she admitted she was relieved when I finally drew the line. That honestly made me feel more secure in my decision. Our home already feels calmer, and we've been using the 2nd bedroom to start setting up the nursery. It's bittersweet but also exciting. Second, Kyle hasn't exactly taken this as a wake-up call. He's staying with a guy he used to work with, apparently couch surfing and still not working. He sent me a long, guilt-trippy text about how I've changed, and let money turn me into a cold-hearted adult. I didn't respond. I've realized that as much as I want to protect and support him, I can't do it at the cost of my own family's well-being. Lastly, about those cousins messaging me, I found out Kyle was cherry-picking details when he talked to them. Made it sound like I just kicked him out for no reason. I reached out to one of them and gave a fuller picture. Their tone changed immediately, and they even apologized for judging too quickly. So I guess that clears the air a bit. I still feel some guilt, especially because I was always the one trying to hold what's left of our family together. But I know now that enabling Kyle wasn't helping either of us. Thanks again to everyone. I'll update again if anything major happens. Final update. Hey Reddit, here's a final, hopefully, update. It's been about 6 weeks since Kyle moved out. Our baby girl was born a week ago, healthy and beautiful. Holding her in my arms for the first time made everything else fall into perspective. My priorities have shifted completely. I want her to grow up in a peaceful, supportive home, not one where she learns to normalize emotional manipulation just because it comes from family. As for Kyle, he finally reached out again, but this time with a different tone. He called, not texted, for once, and actually apologized, not fully, and definitely with some ego still involved. But he did say he understands why I had to set boundaries. Apparently, his friend kicked him out too, and after crashing with a few people, he ran out of couches. He's now staying at a low-income transitional housing program that requires him to either work or be in training. He's enrolled in a local trades course and is working part-time at a grocery store. It's not much, but it's something. He asked if we could meet up sometime, not to move back in, but just to talk. I told him I'd think about it. I'm open to rebuilding a relationship, but with limits. I'm not going to let him guilt me again, and I'm not opening our home to that chaos. Not now, not with a newborn. To answer the original question, I don't think I was the asshole. Not then. And definitely not now. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say, enough. Kyle had to hit rock bottom to start climbing out. I wish it hadn't taken that, but here we are. Thanks again for all your support. It meant more than you know.